Well, breaking news tonight, Congressman Adam Schiff, ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, says he will meet tomorrow with the committee chairman, Devin Nunes. It comes with the committee seemingly melting down over what is either the chairman's collusion with the White House or a growing string of increasingly unlikely coincidences. Joining us now, a Democratic committee member, Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. The fact that in a source in the White House, a senior White House official was described as by Ryan Lizza, gave Ryan Lizza a heads up as to what Chairman Nunes would talk about or focus on in his introductory remarks at last Monday's hearing. Is there any way that could have happened without some sort of direct coordination between the White House and Chairman Nunes, or is it possible just a coincidence?
Chairman Nunes at this point has shown that he's too close to the White House for us to have an independent, credible investigation that makes progress. That's why, Anderson, I think it's time for him to step away. Our country was attacked by Russia this last election, and this investigation is bigger than any single person. And so for that reason, as well as going over to the White House the day after our open hearing, I'm very concerned that the public is losing their trust in our ability to conduct this investigation.
Do you trust Chairman Nunes? I mean, that he's not colluding with the White House?
Well, I like Chairman Nunes, and he and I have worked together, and the committee's worked with him in the past in a bipartisan way. And for him to keep the credibility he needs to lead our committee on other non-Russia issues, I think he should just step aside. So, I don't know what's going on here. I think that this White House, its behavior is consistent with trying to cover up something that happened. And I'm talking about Michael Flynn lying to the vice president. I'm talking about Jeff Sessions misleading the Senate panel about his prior contacts with Russia, the president making a deceitful claim about wiretapping, and now having Chairman Nunes come to the White House grounds to receive classified information. Anderson, it would be easier for someone on the White House grounds to take what Chairman Nunes saw to the president than to bring the chairman from the House over there to receive it. So it just isn't adding up.
What is the status, though, of your investigation? Because, I mean, from an outside perspective, at least, it certainly seems like it's at a standstill.
It looked just like the press conference that you saw today with Senators Burr and Warner. That's what an investigative road looks like when you have Republicans and Democrats going down it together. Unfortunately, last week, it was stalled when the chairman went over to the White House. We can get back to that moment, but I think the only way to have independence, credibility, and progress is for a new leader on their side.
But I mean, right now, is it fair to say that there is an investigation that is ongoing? I mean, are people actually investigating or from your committee, or are things just stalled?
It's stalled. We're still receiving information and able to review documents, but right now, as far as the public's concerned, there's no public hearing. Our hearing yesterday, for no given reason, was canceled. There's no future public hearing, and we still want to hear from Acting Attorney General Yates and former directors Clapper and Brennan, because I think they could illuminate a lot about what Russia was doing and individuals in the United States who may have been communicating with them.
You clearly either don't believe or don't want to say whether or not you believe that Chairman Nunes is actively trying to sabotage the investigation.
I can only point out, Anderson, what he has actually done. And the fact that he canceled a hearing for no reason, the fact that he went over to the White House 2 days on Tuesday and Wednesday, both days after the public hearing, to me, it just looks like there's a conflict of interest. And whether he thinks there's one or not, the perception of a conflict of interest undermines our duty to have a real investigation.
I'm just wondering personally, when you saw the two ranking members on the Senate Intelligence Committee giving that press conference today, did you watch that thinking, man, I wish I was on that committee? Or, I mean, that's the way it should be?
I watched it with envy, and it looked familiar because we've seen Chairman Nunes and Ranking Member Schiff work together in the past. But there was a sense of betrayal last week when our chairman went over to the White House and didn't share it with us. And, Anderson, what's so concerning was he said that he had this information long before the president's wiretapping claim. And to me, that means there was deliberation and thought, and it was intentional that he went over there, that he had the opportunity to read us in. He chose not to. And right now, it looks like he's wearing a uniform that has the White House's name on it, not the uniform of an independent committee.
It seems you use the word betrayal. That's what it feels like to you, like a betrayal for you of the committee itself.
This committee has worked so well in the past, and maybe part of that's because we work often in secret, 3 floors below the Capitol. There's no cameras, there's no reporting of what we have to do, but we know that national security is on the line. And right now it feels like all of that work is in jeopardy because we have a chairman who seems more loyal to the White House right now than the investigation we're charged with doing.
Congressman Swalwell, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.